What was the day to celebrate?
Yes, ma'am. We were happy to attend the second one and have that time with our children, and we're big Chiefs fans, and it's just unfortunate. We rarely think about the family and the poor gal that's passed. It's just a lot to take in.
Yeah, Lisa Lopez Galvin, the 43-year-old mother that we heard, our listeners just heard the police at the news conference talking about. She was a really popular Tejano DJ.
Wow. Taste
of Tejano was the name of the show on KKFI, I think. I know you don't live in Kansas City, but did you or your wife ever listen to that show? And did you know any of the victims?
No.
And children, so many children heard as well.
Yeah, again, we were on our way back. Once the cops pulled me off, we didn't stick around. We just left.
Did they question you after?
We were driving back. No, I mean, I was very worked up, and they just pulled me off, and I was just interested in finding my kids and my old lady and getting out of there, I figured it was just some jerk with a gun, I didn't know he already hurt all these people.
You have to
You
be
guys as a
very,
family
very careful with lane
had a
change.
moment
That's
to
correct.
just
No,
breathe and
we
process
barely
it
let the
all?
dogs out when we returned home. We barely had time to let the dogs out when we've got news crews out front. And the kids, I'm sure some of the gravity of it has set in slightly, but we got them to school. There was nothing for them to do here today productive, so we just try to conduct ourselves normally and move forward,
Yeah, I know you acted in the moment when you found out more about what happened.
Today is
And the
not the day
magnitude
to
of what
go
happened.
like this and go like this.
The children,
Today
you
you
have
take
children.
your
I
own
wonder
time.
how
slow,
you and your wife
steady.
Casey sort of processed
Well,
that. The
I almost
magnitude.
told those boys to run down there and play with those kids. That's the ones I'm thinking. So hopefully when things slow down this
See, it's
evening, we can
going.
have a chance to kind of soak it in here and see
I hope you get that
what's
time.
going on.
Yeah, I hope you get that time and some peace. Trey, thank you for your time.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Be well.
Trey Filter was at the Super Bowl parade in Kansas City yesterday. We reached him today at home in Mays, Kansas.
Basement parking.
Oh, that's why new, nothing.
Today, the White House confirmed what had made for startling headlines late yesterday. Intelligence suggesting Russia is working on a space-based nuclear weapon designed to target Western satellite technology. The announcement came after Republican Congressman Mike Turner demanded the declassification of information about what he described as a national security risk. Todd Harrison is an aerospace engineer and space security expert with the American Enterprise Institute. We reached him in Washington, D.C.
So we've heard from the White House that they're confirming this, but they say it's not operational, this technology, that it can't cause physical destruction on Earth. Are you worried?
I have been worried for some time about the threat Russia and other nations, quite frankly, pose to our space systems because we're heavily dependent on them, and we've got a lot of vulnerabilities in space. So I think this new development that we're hearing about out of Russia, it just heightens that concern.
If it were operational, what would it be able to do?
Well, we don't know the details yet. If indeed it is something that violates the Outer Space Treaty, I'll say that there are not a lot of limitations in the Outer Space Treaty on what kind of weapons can be placed in space. One thing that is specifically prohibited is the placement of nuclear weapons in space. If that turns out, to be what this is, we know that nuclear weapons can have broad, indiscriminate effects in space because we tested capabilities like that back in the 1950s. Both the U.S. and the Soviet Union. We saw
Straight.
The devastating effects they had. Broad, indiscriminate effects.
There is a dog near the...
Does the timing signal anything to you? Why do you think that...
I will walk from there, so you can just return right better.
This was not sudden. That this intelligence had been shared with Congress weeks ago. This is not something that just happened overnight. we're all just learning about it
Next one.
this week because Representative Turner, sent that letter to
They
other
did not
members of
clean
Congress.
this side, right?
But
No,
this
next
is
one.
really part of a long-standing set of space threat briefings that Congress has been receiving and has been increasingly
The next one,
alarmed
sorry.
about. If you go back to around 2015,
Yeah.
2015,
Because I always notice that dog statue.
Russia and China were doing in
Dog?
space is actually
I mean,
what
there is a
led
statue,
two
dog
members of
statue.
Congress to
Yeah,
start
I'll
the
show you.
push for creating a separate military service for space, and that was a bipartisan effort. Representative Mike Rogers from Alabama,
see here,
a Republican,
2
and
dogs.
Jim Cooper. From
I
Tennessee,
noticed
Democrat,
this one.
that started
Okay,
that
you can
effort.
show.
And
I'll
of
walk
course,
from here.
Sure.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks a
I have
lot.
to go back, right?
It's better, right?
Do you feel that the fact that
Or if you're going that,
those briefings,
I think this is not much clean, right?
process of declassifying it further, as I understand it, does that give you the sense that they are becoming less lax, as you put it?
I think it's an encouraging sign for sure that we're being more open and transparent about the intelligence data. That often
Behind that, here,
reflects
here.
a confidence in that intelligence.
Okay.
And when you open it up for public scrutiny, I think that
Giri's
furthers
house.
the confidence in intelligence, because if there's
Oh
something
my
that might have been
God.
misconstrued or might have been missed by our intelligence analysts, that'll be picked up when
Okay,
it's opened up for
Lakshmana.
public
Thank you so
scrutiny.
much. Take
But
care.
also, I think what's encouraging
Oh my
is what's been going on for years within the military, and that is to
Okay, thank you.
types of
മഞ്ഞ ആയതുകൊണ്ട് വിന്റർ ഷൂ അല്ല ഇട്ടത്. ക്ലീൻ ചെയ്തല്ലേ നമുക്ക് പടർന്നു പോയി നോക്കാം എന്താ അവസ്ഥ. See?